Hey everybody, this is Veronica with Renova Designs here with our first ever tutorial. The one we're going to do today is a photo manipulation, and you can see the finished product right here is what we're going to be making. So go ahead and open up a new document here, 1280 by 768, okay, because that is the size of the original image, which is this. We downloaded this from the GNOME 54 on stock.xchng. So whenever you're working with an image, you always want to duplicate the original. That way if you mess up, you're not going to have too big a problem. So go ahead and click and hold and drag it down to the new layer button right there, and that duplicates it. Alright, so we got our image here. First we're going to need to do is make a new adjustment layer. We'll do color balance. Okay. Now the reason we're doing this is because you see the image has a lot of red in it. So we're just going to try and bring that down a little bit. So make sure you're checked on midtones here. Move that over about 22. This looks good. There. And make sure preserve luminosity is checked, otherwise it's going to look a little funky. And then bring up the blue to there, and the shadows still look really red, so let's change that now. Maybe -10, 9's good too. Green and blue. Let's turn that way up. Okay. That looks good right about. Yep, that's good. Alright, so you can see we're already making some differences here. Oh wait, that's not the original. Okay, this is the original. And that's it with the color correction. It's already looking a lot more dramatic, you know, a lot more defined. So let's just take it up a notch. Let's create a new layer, and let's see, zoom out here and fill it. Click fill with 50% gray. Now Control D to deselect. What we're going to do here is we're going to set the layer mode to overlay, which doesn't do anything here, but what happens is when you take your brush tool and paint over it, it creates a dodge effect, which is really cool. So what we're going to do with that is go over here to your brushes panel and select this brush, turn your flow down to about 27. Yeah, that's good. So about 27, and just brush out from the pupil. I'm going to really brighten up this side of the eye. Be a little streaky. Now, for those of you that are wondering, I am using a tablet for this tutorial. You don't have to, but sometimes it just makes it a little bit easier. So if you make a mistake, you can just paint over it with some gray. Okay, and that looks good. Next, let's see, what do we got to do? Alright, let's add our feathers. So I have this feathers image from, where the heck is it? Feathers image that I downloaded from cgtextures. Okay, so what we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to up the contrast and then invert it. So go over here to Image, Adjustments, Levels, or Control L on your keyboard. And we're going to drag this black slider to the right, get rid of all the color back there. And maybe take the white one and pull it over a little bit, just to brighten up the feathers a little bit. That looks good. Okay. Next, image, adjustments, invert, or Control I on your keyboard. And now you got some black feathers. So I'm going to take this feather here, and take it over to our image right here, and just shape it till it's on the right position. So okay, right about here. Turn on the opacity just so I can see what I'm doing. Right about, that looks good. Okay, turn it back up. Check. Okay, I'm going to click the mask tool here and take my paintbrush into just a regular soft brush and get rid of the white here. Turn the opacity up to 100. Click on that tool. Make a selection of the white. Okay, great. Click on the mask tool, the mask layer, excuse me, and cover up all the white just so that you have a clear definition for the feather. Control D to deselect. Alright, let me zoom in here. And fix up some of the hard edges. What I'm just going to do over is paint over with a soft brush to make it blend a little better. Maybe bring the size down so I can just get this one little piece here. Flow is still at 36%, you might notice. Move our size back up. Yeah, so you just go through here, soften up the edges so it doesn't look like you copy and pasted in a default image editing program. Right. Okay. But unfortunately for me, since I am doing a tutorial, I'm going to have to be a little quicker and make my edges a little bit sloppier, just so I don't go over time and take all your day from you. So, let's see. Zoom out and see how that looks. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to need another feather, so let's see, which one can I get? I can get this one right here. Control X to cut. Or you can copy, but I don't need to keep it in that one, so I'm just going to cut. And whoops. And just do the same thing for this feather. More coming up from that. Now, quiz of the day, I'd like to ask you, just so that your Photoshop knowledge is sharp, what is the shortcut for switching the foreground and background colors in Photoshop? I learned this one the other day. Stay tuned, and at the end of the tutorial I'll tell you what it is. Okay, so go ahead and take the selection tool. Whoops, hate that thing. Take the selection tool again, select all the white, and fill with black.